Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it. Judge has been busy. I've been extremely busy on the road. Feels like non-stop. Yes, non-stop. So I was out in Texas last week, did a barrel pick with the Blendery. That was amazing, by the way. If you have not had a chance to check out the Blendery, please make sure you check out the Blendery. Tim and his broader team over at the Blendery out in Oak Point, Texas, just north of Dallas. Great people. Great whiskey. They're blending whiskey from all different places and doing really cool, unique things. I did an episode not too long ago about the Blendery. I'm a huge fan of them, huge fan of that brand, and hence the reason why we did a Bourbon Judge single barrel pick. Again, we just did that pick last week, so really enjoyed it. Really had a good time hanging out with some patrons and having a little bit of fun. Speaking of travel, literally in 2 days, I'm headed out to Kentucky. Doing a barrel pick, actually 2 barrel picks with Wild Turkey. So we're doing 2 barrels of Wild Turkey, and then later at the end of September, close to home, doing a barrel pick with Sagamore. So yes, doing a barrel pick with Sagamore. That's gonna be a blast as well. But I'm looking forward to, so when people say, Judge, what's coming out soon? So what will be coming out soon, right? Between shipping and logistics and so forth. The next 2 barrels that are coming out are our J.W. Kelly Double Oak. Mwah! That is like a nice little 13th Colony Double Oak Junior. Because it tastes very similar. It's quite amazing. Can't wait for our patron community to have access to that one. And then also a Glen's Creek OCD number 5, which was mwah! Also a fantastic barrel. Love me some Glen's Creek. Last thing I would say is, by the way, we've recently got our brand new merchant. We have not only our golf polos, which this is one of them. We also have in ladies gear. So there's a whole bunch of ladies gear. So check out my website or the link in today's episode if you're interested in a Bourbon Judge merch. Cool? All right. So for me, this is going to be a very interesting, let's just call it, episode. Here's the reason why. So a lot of hype about the brand new 1792 cognac, right? So 1792 came out with this just a few months ago. But there's honestly mixed reviews out there. I had my first little sip of it, and it was only a tiny sip. I put a little bit in my Infinity Barrel blend, and initially I was little TBD, honestly, when I first had my first initial sip. So I was like, you know what, let me let this go ahead and breathe just a little bit, let it open up, air out a little bit, and we'll do a full episode to see, have my feelings changed about this from the initial pour, which again, the initial pour was not bad, but it wasn't good. It was just so. So we're going to see. Now, when you think about 1792, I would say I am a huge fan of the 1792 brand. I love their small batch, which is like, for me, the original. I love the bottled and bond. I love their sweet wheat. I love their port finish. And I'm a huge fan of, obviously, the full proof, which this is, by the way, my single barrel. So I'm a big fan of 1792. And like many other brands out there that source older Barton whiskey, the Blendery being one of them, and other companies as well, I'm a big fan of 1792. However, standard, straight, unblended whiskey, cask strength, fantastic. But when you start to blend whiskey, that's when it gets a little bit interesting. Now, I will say, going back a few years, the port finish that they did a few years back, that was amazing, and I loved it. So I was really happy to hear that they were coming out with this brand new cognac finish. So we're going to dive into this one. So, in short, brand new release, $40-$45 bottle. That's assuming you get it at MSRP. It's going to be one where you put a little bit of work into. You should be able to find it after going to a few different stores. But the good news is that it's affordable. You should be able to find it after going to a few different stores. And hopefully, if you have a chance to buy it, you're buying it right at MSRP at that $40 to $45 range, just kind of depending on what state you're in, taxes, and so forth. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this 1792 cognac. So, from an age standpoint, we don't know exactly the age of this whiskey. I will say, though, when you think about like the full proof and most of even their single barrels and so forth, they typically are anywhere from like 6 to 8, maybe even like in the 7 to 9 year range. But let's just say 6 to 8 just to be safe. The only thing that we don't know also is the how long the whiskey finished in the cognac barrels. So we don't know exactly how long did the whiskey actually finish in the cognac barrels. That part we don't know, unfortunately. All right, let's get into the nose real quick here. Woo! Very sweet on the nose. This to me is very much, wow, tons of grape. Ooh, this is really grape. Goodness gracious. Which I had that on the nose the first time when I sipped this as well. But I would say even more now that it's opened up a little bit. This is like a grape monster. I mean, it is very grape forward. Wow. Maybe even like some blackberries mixed in there as well. Smidge of pepper, smidge of mint. But this is very heavy on the fruit. You really have to love like a grape, fruity, blackberry, some raspberries, and even like some strawberry notes in there as well. Wow, this is extremely fruit forward. By the way, what is the proof on this bad boy? 95 proof. Okay, which kind of makes sense. A lot of their other ones that we have, like the port one here was 88.9. Sweet wheat is 91.2. Obviously, the full proof is always 125, but a lot of like their finishes, if you will, are always at a lower proof point. So this one again at 95 proof. All right, very fruity on the nose. Smidge of bananas as well, but this is like a fruit explosion, big time, and I mean big time. All right, here we go. Hey, real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts if you tried the brand new 1792 cognac finish. Last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get a notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right, here we go. Cheers. Oh boy. I'm a little excited and concerned at the same time. Ooh. Ooh, that's sweet. Wow. Very, very, very sweet. So it stays true to the course in terms of it's an extremely fruit-forward expression, which you would expect, obviously, it being a cognac finish. All of those fruits that I mentioned, right? The grape notes is number 1, right? This is a grape explosion, in my opinion. Very grape, tons of like blackberries, raspberries, a smidge of like mint, a smidge of like black pepper in there as well, but a lot more sweet, very like sweet as a whole. Beginning of the palate, middle of the palate, end of the palate. Let me get one more little sip. It's nice. It's extremely sweet, like a little bit more than I personally probably honestly would want in a finished whiskey. That's interesting though, because at the MSRP, $45 for a finished product, especially for like potentially a 6 to 8 year old whiskey, also being finished, from a value standpoint, is actually not bad. From a value standpoint, the quality of it at 95 proof is actually, that 95 proof actually holds up very well. It, to me, actually sips closer to even 100 proof than it does 90. It actually sips a little bit more above its true proof point, if you will. Not bad. Let me get one last little sip. All right, it's decent. It's decent. All right, so Judge, is this a buy, a do not buy, or a split decision, and why? For me, you guys know I'm always going to keep it real. I'll explain the reason why. To me personally, this is a do not buy. Yes, you heard me say it. It is a do not buy. But honestly, for me personally, this one is way too sweet, in my personal opinion, for sipping it neat. Now, if I'm sipping this with a cigar, sure, because it's overly sweet, it'll offset like the spice from the cigar and so forth. In that case, you might want to run out and grab it. But at $45, if you're looking for a really excellent finished whiskey, a bourbon or a rye, I don't know if I would go with this one personally. I really don't know if I would go with this one. It's okay, but it's overpowering. I'm not sure if it's just the fact that they use the bourbon to finish versus like a rye. I personally think that when you look at bourbons and you look at ryes, I personally think that ryes finish much better in sweeter either cognacs, rums, or wine finishes as opposed to bourbons. In this case, bourbon is already naturally more sweet than a rye, right? So when you have the bourbon and the cognac, it's almost like too much. in my humble opinion, and that is just my opinion. Is it good? It's okay, but it's honestly not one that you need to run out and grab. That's just the judge's opinion. Hey, try it at a bar, try it at a friend's house first, see if you agree or disagree. It's decent, but it ain't all that. Hey, my friends, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most important, salute. Take care. See you guys.